Oh, you're new here? Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome! Now let's give you a crash course. Earth blew itself up, and now we live on Mars, which is severely overcrowded. The president also kinda got assassinated, and now we're facing civil war. So, you know, pretty normal. Now enjoy the show! March 26th, 2250. The presidential election has continued despite having no contact with the New Berlin, and incumbent Philip Hall has been re-elected. The 1st Peacekeeping Division is one system away from New Berlin, and the Brilliant Starbase is still showing on sensors, but it is still not responding. June 26th, 2250. The 1st Peacekeeping Division entered the Brilliant system, and as they approached the starbase, it opened fire, catching the fleet off guard and completely destroyed the UMRS Eagle. The rest of the fleet sounds general quarters and broadcasts on the emergency channel, declaring themselves as friendly. The starbase did not respond and continued firing, dealing severe damage to multiple vessels. Admiral Carly Slaughter orders a full retreat as our fleet is not capable of disabling the starbase unless almost all vessels are sacrificed. While withdrawing from the system, the fleet received a very faint transmission from New Berlin. The person speaking was identified as Governor Carlos Rodriguez, and the commander of the New Berlin Planetary Guard. Their report, while short, states that most of the planet has fallen to criminals and terrorists, calling themselves the One True Planet. The Planetary Guard has consolidated its forces on an island with a large mountain, and is actively evacuating as many citizens as possible into the network of caves. The governor and other political officials that refuse to surrender are also being kept safe on the island. The Planetary Guard reports dwindling supplies, and they don't know how long they will be able to hold out while under constant heavy artillery fire. July 13th, 2250. The Martian Congress has passed an emergency bill funding the training of more Planetary Guard battalions, as well as loosening restrictions, allowing them to be used in offensive actions. The new Guard battalions, once completed, will be used to reinforce and take back New Berlin. The 1st Peacekeeping Division is ordered back to Mars. They will receive upgrades to their systems, and the Security Council has ordered 2 Tomcat, 8 Meteor, and 3 Spitfire-class vessels to be added to the fleet. September 17th, 2250.
Multiple unauthorized transmissions from Mars to New Berlin have been detected, but each time these damn transmissions occur, they cut off just before we can get a lock on their origin. The Security Council has most certainly deemed this a threat to national security, since someone could be giving the One True Planet classified information here.
December 23rd, 2250. The Security Council has ordered our spy probe in the Picus system to go to the Brilliant system and hopefully act as a communications relay, so we can communicate with the surviving Planetary Guard and the governor of New Berlin. March 4th, 2251.
Another transmission was detected and it was traced to our Capitol building, meaning it is someone in the government. I will be conducting a discreet investigation to identify the perpetrator. Sadly, we have so far been unable to break the encryption used in the transmission, so we still don't know what type of information is being sent.
June 23rd, 2251. Our spy probe entered the Brilliant system, and we discovered that the One True Planet has started constructing starships. We made contact with what remains of the Planetary Guard, and they report that they are still under constant attack, and Governor Carlos Rodriguez was killed in an artillery strike a few weeks ago. The commander estimates that they will be able to hold out for maybe a few months without resupply. The 1st Peacekeeping Division has finished its upgrades, and received its new vessels. The Planetary Guard has only trained 2 battalions so far, and experts estimate that 10 battalions will be required to retake New Berlin if the One True Planet refuses to surrender. President Philip Hall has decided to wait for the Planetary Guard to finish training its new battalions, instead of launching a premature invasion. Unfortunately, this means the New Berlin Planetary Guard will not get a resupply, and it is unknown how long they can hold out and protect civilians. August 29th, 2251.
There seems to be a transmission after every presidential cabinet meeting, and if my suspicions are correct, this means extremely classified information is being sent out, including details about New Berlin Planetary Guard, which is barely hanging on as it is. Not to mention, our invasion plans are also discussed in these meetings. This could well be a disaster.
October 3rd, 2251. Mars has received a message from New Berlin. The man speaking calls himself Supreme Ruler Anton Malikov. He says that the last of our planetary guard has been wiped out, and New Berlin is now the one true planet. The one true planet's ships have systematically destroyed or captured our outpost in the Oslin, Mudstrom, and Rigat systems, while this transmission was being sent. President Philip Hall has declared a state of emergency, and the Planetary Guard has received a massive influx of volunteers wanting to liberate New Berlin and help their families that live there. January 9th, 2252.
The fall of New Berlin Planetary Guard has led to a drastic reduction in the transmissions, confirming the fact that there is a traitor within the cabinet. The only time that more transmissions occur is when our invasion plans are discussed. My suggestion is that we tell the cabinet our invasion plans have been pushed forward, but give all members classified briefs containing different details and see how the one true planet prepares. This should tell us who the traitor is based on how they try to counter the fake plans.
March 14th, 2252.
Right, Theodore Wheeler, head of the Science Directorate, went missing during the night. Unbelievably, his security detail was found dead this morning. We believe he was kidnapped by the one true planet. The Mars Planetary Guard is on high alert and all possible steps are being taken to find him.
April 24th, 2252. The 1st Peacekeeping Division has been ordered to recapture our outpost in the Mudstrom system, and the fleet was easily able to overpower the outpost shields and land boarding parties. August 30th, 2252.
It is the day of our fake invasion and we are awaiting a report from our spy drone about the one true planet fleet maneuvers and defenses to identify the traitor. The report is coming in now, and based on this, the traitor is... well, it's Theodore Wheeler. He must have figured out that we were getting close and faked his own kidnapping. At this point, he could be long gone. There's a possibility he's now off Mars entirely.
September 6th, 2252.
We have a lead on Theodore Wheeler. He purchased a ship under a fake name and that ship registered a flight plan, which brings us as close to New Berlin as a civilian ship is allowed to go. We believe he's trying to make a break for New Berlin. Unfortunately, the 1st Peacekeeping Division is currently in the Mudstrom system preparing to attack the Balarian starbase. What's left here to follow him with? A few retrofitted civilian vessels. Ugh. This will not do. More investment into the Navy is desperately needed if we are to avert such catastrophes in the future.
December 8th, 2252. The Planetary Guard is finally ready, and is en route to New Berlin. Before they arrive, the 1st Peacekeeping Division will attempt to destroy or capture the Beryllian starbase. The one true planet's fleet is currently multiple systems away, attacking more of our outposts, so they should pose no threat. January 15th, 2253.
Well, our retrofitted civilian vessels have actually caught up to the vessel and we believe that Theodore Wheeler is on board. We are currently conducting boarding operations, so stand by. Well, we searched the entire ship, even the ventilation system, but could we find him? No, he's nowhere. Interrogations of the ship's crew reveal they were paid to travel along this route and not respond to hails by Theodore Wheeler. We believe he used this ship as a diversion and has already found a way to New Berlin.
September 21st, 2253. The 1st Peacekeeping Division has engaged the Beryllian starbase. The Beryllian starbase is a Luna-class starbase, and its biggest weakness is its inability to focus on multiple vessels at once. So the fleet will circle the starbase, and when one vessel takes too much damage, it will break off until the starbase targets a different vessel. The plan worked magnificently. Unfortunately, the fleet still lost the UMRS Fargo and Hammerhead. The 1st Peacekeeping Division will take up an orbit over New Berlin, and target all military bases and formations. The fleet is under strict orders to avoid civilian casualties at all costs. The Planetary Guard is one system away and will begin dropping troops once they arrive. June 9th, 2254. The Planetary Guard has finally secured New Berlin. Most of the One True Planet's leadership has been captured, but some sadly escaped. They will be hunted down once the 1st Peacekeeping Division recaptures our outposts and confronts the One True Planet's fleet. June 30th, 2254.
The Planetary Guard has not found Theodore Wheeler on New Berlin, and we believe he's escaped again. Blast! Now we don't know where he's gone, or even where to start looking.
September 30th, 2254. The 1st Peacekeeping Division has recaptured our outpost in the Regat system, but the fleet sustained a rather large amount of damage since the outpost was upgraded significantly by the One True Planet. The last outpost that needs to be recaptured is the one in the Oslin system. March 18th, 2255. We have recaptured our outpost in the Oslin system, and we have found some of the escaped One True Planet leaders hiding on the outpost as well, including their supreme leader Anton Malakov. April 29th, 2255. Our fleet has engaged the remainder of the One True Planet's fleet. The 1st Peacekeeping Division has received large amounts of damage, but they were able to destroy the fleet. Luckily, no vessels were lost. July 18th, 2255. A new governor for New Berlin has been chosen, Isabella Kirk. Her first act as governor was to request that President Philip Hall declare martial law on New Berlin and station 4 Planetary Guard battalions on the planet, since crime is becoming a significant problem. President Philip Hall declares martial law, and Congress starts putting together a massive economic care package to kickstart New Berlin's economy. November 3rd, 2255.
After many more interrogations of the members of the One True Planet, something just doesn't add up, especially after cracking the encryption on their computers. On paper, Anton Malakov was the supreme leader, but it appears he was just a figurehead, and the orders were only given when the mysterious transmissions occurred and relayed through Anton Malakov himself. Meaning that the person truly in charge was Theodore Wheeler. So he wasn't just a member of the One True Planet after all. He was the real supreme leader of it.
December 13th, 2255. The Divine Onid Quark Commonality still has not declared war, and our spies believe it is because of our massive military buildup as a result of New Berlin being under attack. The Commonality still has their fleets on our border, so President Philip Hall has ordered the 1st Peacekeeping Division to resume their training exercises in the Pika system, right on the border. February 6th, 2256. The housing problem on Mars has been exacerbated by the devastation on New Berlin, as many people are migrating back to Mars since their homes have been destroyed. Mars is, well, full. There is no more safe space to build, so President Philip Hall has ordered the restoration of the Verteron Array, which is a massive particle cannon, once used to redirect comets towards the ice caps to assist in terraforming. The Mars terraforming project has been suspended for almost 80 years, since it was stopped when Earth was destroyed in 2172. The terraforming process will be extremely difficult, considering most of Mars is completely inhabited. Except for areas where it is not safe for one reason or another, great care must be taken in every calculation, or the consequences could be devastating. The President wishes to start terraforming other worlds for colonization as well, but the immense cost of this has to be approved by Congress. Congress has approved a trial run of terraforming a planet outside of the Sol system, and the planet chosen is the frozen world of Glaus 4, which is almost twice as big as Mars. August 12th, 2256. Our observation post above the planet of Reach has noticed a drastic decrease in the Chim population due to an extinction-level plague. A special committee has been formed by Congress to decide what to do and provide a recommendation for laws regarding our interactions with primitive species. No legislation has been made restricting how we respond, but we have been following former President Charlie Gent's limited interference policies that he tried to get passed by Congress, but the bill was never voted on. The special committee has come to the same conclusion as President Charlie Gent, and orders the Science Directorate to develop a cure, and for the Security Council to deploy it without the Chim discovering our existence. The special committee has also recommended a limited interference law to avoid this problem in the future. September 2nd, 2256. Captain Jonathan Brown's expedition has successfully breached its way into a bunker that is in the abandoned town we found. The bunker was sealed from the inside, presumably with the intention that it would never be opened again. It appears that the inhabitants were only interested in killing each other, though the reason for this only became clear after one of the officers found the bunker's data storage facility. At first, the outpost had grown steadily, and its prosperity attracted many newcomers. Many inhabitants not only worked in the mines, but also engaged in the arts. When the mining effort yielded its first success, the colony experienced an economic boom. Despite being constantly besieged by rivals, the colony endured for many generations. However, as the dig to the planetary core drew its conclusion, entries in the records had long since turned sour, reporting growing greed and widespread paranoia amongst the population. With irrational behavior and violent outbursts on the rise, everything finds its culmination in a catastrophic chain of events when the Lord of the Guard challenged the Overseer to a duel over the possession of a highly valuable artifact mentioned only by name, Kubor Tab Unil Umoth. The duel quickly turned into a struggle for life or death, ending only with the challenger's victory. Subsequent entries report duels for this artifact happening almost daily. In an effort to learn more about the valuable material that was mined here, the team heads towards the mines, but they find another heavily reinforced door that they will need to breach. February 5th, 2257.
One of our outposts intercepted a transmission that we believe came from Theodore Wheeler himself, and it went to the other members of the One True Planet's leadership that escaped. We were able to decrypt most of the message, and it appears he is ordering everyone to join the pirates in the Hicks Aroa system, and the pirates will be expecting them. The 1st Peacekeeping Division would never make it in time, but there are some patrol ships in that area that could intercept.
June 23rd, 2257. The Security Council has a spy in the Divine Oned Quark Commonality's government, and they are reporting that the Oned government has declared the United Martian Republic an existential threat to their existence. The Security Council believes that war with the Commonality is now a guarantee at some point in the future. February 16th, 2258. Captain Jonathan Brown's expedition has breached the reinforced door. They found a very large amount of corpses, however one of them stood out. Hidden in the most secluded corner, a lone corpse found leaning on a wall. In its grips is a strange-looking oversized metal boot. Next to the corpse is a datapad. Its contents shed some light on the nature of the strange item. The last entry had only one voice recording in it.
Mine! It's finally mine!
Captain Jonathan Brown quickly concluded that the metal boot had to be the Kubor Tab Unil Umoth. Upon closer inspection, it was revealed that parts of the artifact are made up of an extremely rare material, which is what the colony was mining. The colony's logs call this material living metal for its ability to remember its original form if damaged or manipulated, essentially a self-repairing material. Once the underground veins had been opened and the living metal introduced to the population, it quickly found widespread use amongst the colonists. What the colonists apparently failed to realize is the long-term effects of prolonged exposure to the living metal. Captain Jonathan Brown ordered all officers to wear hazmat gear and to avoid touching the artifact directly. The deposit of living metal is only half mined, meaning if sufficient safety measures are taken, we might be able to mine and research the living metal. April 1st, 2258. Ever since Theodore Wheeler's treachery was discovered, the position of the head of the Science Directorate has been vacant. President Philip Hall has selected Captain Jonathan Brown to be the next head of the Science Directorate. Jonathan Brown's ship, the UMRS Sagan, is placed under the command of Tik Dumak, since he requested the command. Captain Dumak's old ship, the UMRS Kelvin, will remain as a training vessel for the Academy. August 15th, 2258. A flotilla of civilian transports carrying Juin refugees, fleeing from the enlightened directorate of Tebran kind. These refugees have requested political asylum. The Security Council will conduct interviews with all of the refugees, then they will be granted asylum. Unfortunately, some of the refugees won't have a place to stay, unless more people open up their already crowded homes for complete strangers. December 30th, 2258. The New Berlin Planetary Guard has made significant progress in restoring order and cracking down on the organized crime issue that has evolved on New Berlin. January 2nd, 2259.
Our patrol ships in the Kakatoon system have detected a fleet of half-destroyed and stolen civilian vessels travelling at high speeds. Scans can confirm that the ships belong to the one true planet. We will attempt to stop and board as many vessels as possible, but we won't be able to stop them all. We stopped their flagship and 7 other ships, but 17 ships got away. To make matters worse, we did not find Theodore Wheeler. Our sensors are showing a large skirmish in the Hixaroa system, where the one true planet ships just jumped to. That doesn't make any sense if they're allies. The pirates have sent a message saying our feeble invasion force are no match for them, and now we have their full attention. But why would Theodore Wheeler send almost all of his remaining followers into certain death? Unless he did it on purpose. The only thing we know for sure is that we don't know where Theodore Wheeler is, and he is not to be underestimated.
February 6th, 2259. President Philip Hall has been contacted by multiple leaders of other governments, requesting we be a part and help build a galactic community to avoid tragic misunderstandings between governments. This organization would facilitate meetings of all government leaders to discuss important issues. Congress would have to ratify any treaty to join this organization, but President Philip Hall has pledged our help to form this community no matter what. March 6th, 2259. Scientists have developed new sensors that can detect gravitational changes which are produced as a ship moves. These sensors can also keep extremely detailed records of gravitational fields generated by large celestial bodies. March 21st, 2259. President Philip Hall has formally ended martial law on New Berlin, and 2 of the 4 Planetary Guard battalions are being shifted to act as reservists instead of active personnel. New Berlin's economy has been fully opened, and there has already been massive amounts of civilian investments. April 9th, 2259. A civilian vessel is detected traveling at high speed towards the ONED border, which crossing the border is extremely illegal. The 1st Peacekeeping Division is performing fleet exercises in that system, and they try hailing the vessel but get no response. The fleet fires a warning shot, but the vessel maintains course and starts evasive maneuvers. The vessel starts transmitting on all frequencies and translates to the ONED language.
This is Theodore Wheeler, head of the Science Directory. I am requesting political asylum in the Divine ONED Core Commonality.
By law, the 1st Peacekeeping Division must receive direct authorization from the President to fire on a civilian vessel, unless it is in self-defense. By the time the vessel gets permission to fire on Theodore Wheeler, he barely avoids getting hit by a torpedo by entering hyperspace. The fleet is ordered to follow, and they detect the ONED fleet also enter hyperspace, meaning both fleets are traveling at maximum speed towards the border. Theodore Wheeler's vessel drops out of hyperspace, just outside of the ONED border. The ONED fleet also drops out of hyperspace, just barely outside of our border. The 1st Peacekeeping Division is ordered to fire on Theodore Wheeler, and they hit his engines, which completely shut down, but he is still drifting towards the border, and the fleet can't reach him in time to stop it. So the order is given to target his reactor and completely destroy the ship before it falls in ONED hands. Our torpedo is about to hit when he crosses the border, and a ONED frigate fires its point defense cannons, destroying the torpedo before it could hit. Both fleets are now sitting on the border in deep space, with shields raised and weapons hot. President Philip Hall has requested emergency communications with revered leader Korb to de-escalate the situation. June 25th, 2259. Our observation outpost in the Ep6 system has detected radio signals emanating from Reach. The Chim have evidently started experimenting with wireless transmission. Elsewhere on the planet, we have detected the launch of their first heavier-than-air vehicle. The Chim's technology is continuing to advance at a rapid pace. September 3rd, 2259. The Martian Congress has passed a new law establishing the United Martian Republic as a haven for anyone that wants to be free, no matter their species, their origin, or their wealth. All are welcome. December 6th, 2259. The 1st Peacekeeping Division and the ONED fleet are still staring at each other over the border, with shields up and weapons charged. The de-escalation talks between President Philip Hall and revered Elder Korb have stalled, since the ONED have outright refused to arrest and extradite Theodore Wheeler. Our spies believe this is because Theodore Wheeler is giving them classified intel in exchange for his safety, putting the entire Martian Republic at risk. January 1st, 2260. The presidential election has begun. The two main candidates are incumbent Philip Hall and Captain Scarlet Pratt. Politically, both candidates are dealing with major issues. Philip Hall is being blamed by some for picking Theodore Wheeler as the head of the Science Directorate. Scarlet Pratt is being accused by some of being a traitor, since she worked closely and was close friends with Theodore Wheeler. Do you think we should declare war on the ONED Quark commonality and arrest Theodore Wheeler for the crimes he has committed? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to join our growing Discord with loads of wonderful people and other content creators like Cornish Ratbeard and Jamie Plays. Link in the description. Special thanks to Cornish Ratbeard for the help with this episode, and Robinson, sorry if I butchered your name, for creating the Verteron array in their sci-fi series Techamod for Stellaris. Links to both of them will be in the description below. As always, thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.
Live long and prosper.